love for me.
So, and obviously, whether they have intrinsic or network value will be one of the key factors in determining what the best launch strategy is. So a product that has network value, I mean, there are loads of products that have network value. So for instance, if you're thinking about a social network, the value of the network only comes from you having other friends on it, right? If you're thinking about a dating app, the value of the app comes from you having potential partners in it. And so if you're launching a product that has network value, what matters in your launch is that you have a lot of hyper-local density, right? And so what I mean by density here, or rather local density here, isn't necessarily geographic density, though that might be relevant. So if you're launching a marketplace, for instance, so a marketplace is typically a thing that has network value, right? If you want to order a car to go from your house to the airport, what matters is that you have drivers that are near your house that can drive you to the airport. And so in that case, what you want is hyper-local density. It's the same thing if you're building a dating app, right? In most cases, at least in the pre-COVID world, a lot of people wanted to meet potential partners that lived near them. And so what you wanted to create wasn't to have loads of people spread around the globe, but you wanted to have people that were nearby in small hubs, which is why dating apps often started in college campuses, right? It's because it's a lot easier to get that form of density on a group of people that share this common characteristic, and that are that are in a place that's easily addressable. I think a really good example of this when you're thinking about network value is TBH, so To Be Honest, which was an app that was bought, I think, 2 years ago now by Facebook. And they had a very interesting way to test their products and do these soft launches. They have this great memo. I can send it to the people who are interested by email if you like. But essentially what they would do is that they would identify high schools. So their product was focused on high school students. And so what they would do is that they would identify high schools, individual high schools. And they noticed that often teenagers would write which high school they would go to in their Instagram bio. And so they would go on the Instagram page of the place of the high school. They would go through the pictures and then look at, or sort of scrape the pictures, look at the bios of the people who posted those pictures. And if there was the name of the high school, they would invite them to a private Instagram page, which was called TBH for High School ABC. They would keep that page private, so they would follow them so that the student would then request to follow back. And then they would wait like maybe a week. They would follow people for a week. Then they would wait until 4 p.m. on a given day. And then at 4 p.m. on a given day, they would switch the accounts to private to public. And then all of a sudden, all these teenagers in the same high school would receive a notification saying, you're now able to follow, or what's it called? TBH just accepted your follow request. And in TBH's private Instagram follow request for that high school, they would have the TBH app.